being personable with people and actually caring and being empathetic. There's not a lot of that in the world, unfortunately, right now. And I feel like in our little space, we can make that.
We need a lot more places where people can come, feel safe, feel welcomed, and get good service.
Well, walk me through like a recipe creation.
Key lime pie ice cream is I actually take 2 full-size key lime pies, I fold them in half, I shove them in the ice cream maker.
That's brilliant.
I don't want to get things muddled up. I want you to taste a key lime pie. I want you to taste, the best vanilla beans you can get. Like, I want you to taste the bean. I don't want you just like, oh, it's just vanilla. Like,
yeah. What piece of advice would you give to somebody that's trying to start their own thing?
Be original about it, but also stay true to your own vision. Like, don't let people persuade you to change your concept because they don't think it'll work.
You need to come up with your priorities and stick to them, because it's so easy with all kinds of success or, your excitement of creating new products to get lost. And that's when your business fails.
Welcome to the XPLR.NASH Podcast. We are so glad that you're taking the time to listen to today's episode. Today, we are talking about ice cream. And it's not just your normal vanilla chocolate ice cream. These are flavors that you can only really get in like Asian countries. So we're going to talk about ice cream. We're going to talk about business, family and managing a business. We're going to talk about the food truck world in Nashville. So joining me on today's episode is Alex and Holly. Did I get your name right?
Yes.
Okay. I know I read the name and I saw it, and I've been reading a bunch of names for the Titans, and I was like, I can't announce any of these names. So you guys are the owners of BlackBox Ice Cream.
Correct.
And initially you started as a food truck.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
So before we even get into the history of BlackBox, and I know it's still relatively new, what is your background before you guys got into the ice cream world?
I was a musician before we got into the ice cream world, and I played drums for lots of different small projects. I was in a rock opera for 7 years, traveled all over the country doing that, and played in a bunch of hardcore punk bands on the West Coast and traveled all over there. Lived in Idaho for almost 10 years. So just having fun on the West Coast pretty much.
What was your favorite thing about living in Idaho?
The summers were amazing, but they only last for like a month.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the year it's just freezing cold, because we lived right close to the plateau that Yellowstone's on. And so in wintertime, you get snow up to your ankles.
Yeah.
And then snow up to your knees, and it would never go away.
Snow above your head.
Yeah. There'd be mountains of snow in parking lots.
Yeah.
And get rid of it.
What, with all of your travels, what was your favorite city that you ever went to for touring?
Oh, man. Well, I grew up in West Tennessee. And so I used to go to Memphis and Nashville all the time playing with.
Where in West Tennessee?
Humboldt, Tennessee.
Okay, Humboldt's great. Yeah. There's a nice little Airbnb there now. There's this Mexican restaurant there in Humboldt. There's actually a really cool ice cream concept in Humboldt now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't down the road.
I haven't probably been in Humboldt in over a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
My parents still live there, but they come up here to see us. So
Yeah.
I need. We want to go down for this festival one year.
Oh yeah, it's massive there. And then right down the road is Huntington, and Huntington has a great coffee shop now. There's this.
Heard about that way.
There's this new amazing cupcake house in Huntington that like she's making these cupcakes in this small batch kitchen, and like her cupcakes are phenomenal. So there's a lot of really cool things happening in West Tennessee right now.
Take a trip back home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I grew up playing in a hardcore band, metal band called September 22nd. Long time ago, early 2000s. And we would come to Nashville. We would go to Memphis, Little Rock, all those little smaller, bigger towns, But I still think my favorite town was Memphis. Memphis just has a different feel than any other city in the country.
Can you describe that feel?
You feel like the soul that's been there forever with the history of the music. You got Elvis, Sun Records, all that stuff. But you also have all the bluegrass that came out of there, the blues, B.B. King, all the amazing music that just exists in that little sphere for so long and then just expounds upon everything. So you could pick and choose like the depthness of your feel of music, but also like it all just kind of congeals at some point. It just has like
a love for music.
Yeah, everybody who's there is there because they love to be there.
What are your thoughts on the Nashville music scene right now?
I've stepped back from the Nashville music scene for so long that I have no idea. Like I know a couple like bands that are from Nashville now, like Orthodox, a really good hardcore band. There's a handful of others, but as far as I know, everybody that I played music with growing up is pretty much out of it. One of my really good friends, Andy, who is one of the owners of Bad Luck Burgers. We grew up playing in bands together all the time, and he's kind of the same way. He's just, we focus on different things. You get older, priorities change. I'd rather focus on my family and our business. And plus, I'm tired now all the time. So, like, I can't stand forever at shows. And so if there is a show that I ever want to go to, I usually just stay for the band that I want to watch and
leave. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the band I want to watch is usually the last band. So I'm there.
That's why you're there. Yeah. It's really fascinating. We're going to get more into the story, but like, how many musicians started food concepts here in Nashville?
Quite a lot.
And during COVID, like, it was a very interesting thing, and I don't know if there's really been a case study that's been done about it. There should be, because maybe we will conduct it. Yeah, it's an organization. So Holly, your background is art.
Yes.
So how did you get to Nashville, and then when did you guys get married?
Oy. Well, I don't know how much time you have.
I got some time.
So I come from an art background. I studied contemporary art in London, and I worked for Disney for a number of years.
Doing what?
When I was 19, I started working at Disney World, moved over to California, did a bunch of internships, got to do some short-term work for Disney Animation, specifically Disney XD. Then I got the opportunity to go grad school in London. And I've been lucky enough that I've lived all over the world. And so I've kind of hopped around from place to place. But after I finished my degree in England, I moved to New York City. And Alex and I met in college back in Idaho. And so we just stayed in touch as friends. And yeah, we got married back in 2017. So it's been about 8 years.
So where was the transition for you guys to come to Nashville?
I was working for Maggie Moo's in Jackson, Tennessee. Okay. My sister's dad and his business partner.
Is that where their headquarters out of?
No. Okay. I think they started in Florida.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
But they got bought out by Marble Slab. And so they slowly started turning all the Maggie Moo's into Marble Slabs. And so we were still like...
Because is the Maggie Moo's on West End still there?
It's still there. I ended up working for the guy who owned that one. That's what brought us to Nashville.
Okay.
As I was doing all the food truck stuff for the one in Jackson. And then I told them, well, we're getting married. And they offered me a job up in Nashville. I was like, well, we were planning on moving out west originally, but they offered us the job here. So we ended up going here and then running the food truck for Maggie Moo's out of Nashville. And then I would go up in the wintertime, work in the Hendersonville store, make ice cream, go back and forth between both stores just to keep them from, having to hire extra people. I didn't mind. It was fine. And so when did
you transition out of music? Or were you still in music while you were working at Maggie Moo's?
No. When I moved, my father had a heart attack in 2015.
Okay.
And I was still living in Idaho, and I had just moved to Salt Lake, got an apartment there, and I was visiting the girl I was dating at the time's mom in California. My mom called me and said, your dad's had a really bad heart attack. I don't know what to do. Like, I was just really concerned because I was the only one that was single. My other brothers were married. My sister was married. They all had children. And so I was the one that he's like, all right, I can come back home for a while. So I ended up going back home, deciding that like, I need to be here. Like, this is where I need to be. So me and my mom drove all the way out to Utah, packed up all my stuff in my tiny little Honda Element, and drove it all the way back through a snowstorm through the canyons and stuff, which is pretty scary. And then just ended up, my mom's like, you need to get out of the house and do something. Because they lived on a farm, so I was helping out with a lot of that stuff. And so my sister's like, come work with me. It's like, okay. And then I started working, minimum wage, $7.25. 2 weeks later, I was assistant manager. So
that's an evolution.
Yeah, it's quite the change. But I just really got into ice cream because they had some pretty good flavors. They make good ice cream. It's nothing, no bad mouth of Maggie Moo's or Marble Slab. It's still good quality ice cream.
So I don't think I knew this. So I was probably under the assumption that all of their ice cream is shipped in from a distribution.
No, they make everything.
So they make
they have their own blend that's made by Purity.
Okay.
And they bag it there. Same place where we get our mix made.
Yeah.
It's Purity milk.
Okay.
Because it's local. Like they use local farms and stuff, and it's really great quality. And so, they make everything in house. They just have a list of, they only have so many flavors they can make at a time, just like us. But they have to make the flavors that are given to them. They can't come up with their own flavors.
Okay. So there's no creativity in that. So what was the biggest thing you learned being on the franchise side of the restaurant world?
you don't really have the freedom, at least for creativity. Like it was nice to be like, yeah, I can make these new flavors, these new recipes they come up with, but it didn't feel like it was mine. You know, I'm making somebody else's food essentially.
So I assume they have an executive chef.
I guess
that's creating, or an executive ice cream maker or something.
Yeah, they probably have a team kind of like Ben and Jerry's that get together.
And then they probably case study it at certain restaurants and then introduce it nationwide.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I never really looked in their corporate side of things because they're owned by like a giant corporation, just like everybody else. That owns, they owned Round Table Pizza. They owned a handful of other like small chain restaurants and stuff like that. So they're a corporate machine. They can change anything they want to change. Yep. They can improve if they want to improve. But most of the times, the thing that I saw the most was there was a lot of waste, because they have so many toppings and it just made a mess.
And you have to reset the toppings every day, right?
Every day, every couple hours.
And so you have to reset and then maybe even throw a bunch away.
Yeah, there was a lot of waste, which is unfortunate for the owners because that's just money that they're losing, because they're just franchisees. It's just, they don't get to, make sure we only have this topping, and they have to have everything, available that's on their roster that they have to have. So it was just a lot of things like that I was like, I don't like that. So like when we make our ice cream or our waffle cones and stuff like that, if our waffle cones are a day old, we crush them up and use them for our milkshake toppings. We have hardly any waste. Somebody called and asked us if like we could donate our waste. It was like, we don't have any. Like we really don't. We don't waste food. We don't waste any of our product.
So so you got to assistant manager in 2 weeks. How long were you with Maggie Moo's? And then you're like, I think maybe I can do my own thing.
Started working for them in 2016. And then in 2020 is when the owners sold their franchise to somebody else, and they didn't want the catering side, and that was my responsibility. Was the catering manager.
Okay.
So I was in charge of the West End food truck, which did tons of events, private stuff. And the guy's like, no, I don't want that side. So I didn't have a job. It was the middle of the pandemic. We're just trying to figure things out.
How was this is catering side. How much of that, that store was making money off the catering?
A lot.
Probably 30% of it, or most of it? Okay.
I mean, the store stayed really busy, but the catering side brought in at least $250,000 a year.
Okay. Then why did he exit that part of the business?
Oh, it's the new owner.
Yeah. Intensive.
Oh, yeah.
Not only is it like a customer service aspect, but also the socialization is really important in the food truck community. So, I mean,
you got to learn to work with certain people, and certain people just don't understand that. We're all different trucks, but we're all working for the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all trying to feed people what we want people to enjoy. And so and that was part of the thing that I enjoyed about food trucks from the get-go was the personal interactions with everybody. I really enjoy seeing people oh, this is amazing. And seeing people do that with Maggie Moo's ice cream was yeah, that's cool. I do make that ice cream, but it's not my recipes. I didn't come up with these things. I do make it fresh every single day, but it's not something that I can be yeah, that's mine. I came up with that.
So let's go back to 2020 where you didn't have a job, middle of COVID, brand new baby. So that food truck from Maggie Moo's, is that the food truck that you guys bought?
No. My dad was a photographer for 45 plus years. And near the end of his career, he decided he was going to do a headshot truck. And so he bought this giant 28-foot box truck, converted it into a little studio, and would drive around to different businesses, do headshots for all the employees.
Brilliant idea.
And then after his heart attack, it kind of just didn't really get a chance to use it as much. He had to, take things easy for a while. And then the opportunity came up for, I was like, hey, I want to start a food truck. Are you going to use that truck anytime soon? It's kind of just gathering dust over there. He was like, yeah, you can have it. So gratefully and thankfully, my father gave us the truck, and we converted it in about 3 months. Me and my dad building it together almost every single day. Me driving all the way to West Tennessee and back because
every day.
I want to see him. There was some nights where I knew we had to stay over and sleep, but most of the time I would come back home because I wanted to see our little girl.
Yeah. Okay. So where in that time where you're okay, were you making ice cream at home and then you're like, I think we could monetize this. I think we could turn this into a business. Where did it all come from?
Okay. I'm going to brag about him for a little bit. So Alex is a freaking amazing cook. I am so spoiled. He has ruined going out to eat for me because we have dang good food at home.
Because were you the cook on the road? Like when you were touring, were you cooking for everybody?
No,
we ate out a lot.
We ate fast
Okay.
so much.
Okay.
Like so much.
But do you think that you relate that back to your farming experience?
I relate it back to my grandmother. My grandmother was an amazing Southern cook. Like literally like a table twice this size every Sunday, like 35 people at her house every single Sunday.
And she needed a lot of help.
She needed help, but she did everything by like just
memory,
fly. Like she knew how much stuff was going to go in everything. And then so Sundays for lunch after church, giant family meal. Monday night we warm up what wasn't eaten. They had pigs, so they didn't waste any food. They just gave it to the pigs.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night she would make about half of that and feed everybody again.
Okay.
And then Sunday start all over again. They had a giant farm. Like 3 football field size like places just to grow everything. They had a root cellar where they would can everything.
Oh, that's great.
So it was all fresh. Like nothing. Only thing she ever really bought was Velveeta for the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he inherited her ability to be able to try something and know how to recreate it. He's a master with spices, so he knows how to get some really good flavor. And so before we decided to go with the concept of an ice cream truck, we talked about having a food truck of our own, all kinds of different concepts, some really fun ones. I don't want to share because in the future we might, do something different. But it just so happened that, with his experience of working at Maggie Moo's and the concept of creating ice cream and also seeing how to properly source things, it just made sense to go with ice cream for our first truck.
So walk me through like, okay, we want bizarre flavors. we don't want just your typical vanilla chocolate, Neapolitan type ice creams. Like we want to take it to a level that this city's never seen.
Well, we have very different backgrounds. I mean, Alex is a good old Southern boy. He learned from the best. He's got, a lot of Southern influences. And I grew up all over the world, so I was exposed to a lot of different flavors that were the norm for me. And I have a lot of family members from all over the world as well. And so when we decided on the concept of our flavors, it really came down to, we want to take what's traditional and elevate it a little bit further and stay true to those Southern roots with our like banana pudding ice cream, our bourbon butter pecan. Even our strawberry cake batters based off the strawberry cupcakes his grandma used to make like every weekend.
Every single Sunday.
And then on top of that, like we want it to be adventurous too. We want it to be a way to explore other flavors. So we've got flavors from the Philippines. My adopted grandmother is from the Philippines. So we've got a lot of flavors like ube, which is a purple sweet potato found in the Philippines that has like a very buttery shortbread cookie. It's our most popular flavor. We also have something called pandan, which is actually a leafy green that's closely related to rice and it has like a kind of a sweet, earthy vanilla flavor. And then we have the wonderful opportunity to live in an area where there's such a large Asian community that we've been able to make connections with some wonderful people who share Laotian heritage or people who have moved here from the Philippines or from Vietnam. And we just love the chance to really explore and share those cultures.
So with all of that in mind and you being from the South, you're like, they eat what?
Well,
they eat bugs.
They can be pretty tasty.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I'm never scared to try something.
Okay.
I'll try anything once. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. If I do like it, it's amazing. Like there's the fruit that grows in Southeast Asia, durian is very like...
Smells terrible.
Yeah. If you eat it, it actually tastes like industrial grease for some reason, but I like it.
It's weird.
I don't know why I like it. I just like it.
Yeah. Have you had it on a pizza?
I've not.
It's super unique on a pizza. Yeah.
It's a lot more savory.
Well, I had a customer come in. They drove all the way from St. Louis to Atlanta because there's an amazing Asian market down there, and they stop at our store every time on their way home. And she actually brought me some durian candy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love this. Like, this is amazing. And like some pandan, like gummies and stuff like that you just don't get around here. But in my brain, how it works, if I go out to eat somewhere, I'm like,
I can make that better.
I can make that better. I can make that into ice cream. And so that's like one of the weirdest experience I had. There is
have you done a Nashville hot chicken ice cream or a Nashville hot ice cream?
I've been working around it.
Okay.
Just there's certain flavors because there was when I worked at Maggie Moo's, the head chef at Ted's Montana Grill right next door, he had a YouTube channel and I just stumbled upon it one day and he had a Nashville hot chicken recipe and it's probably some of the best Nashville hot chicken that I've ever had.
Interesting.
Especially homemade wise.
Yeah.
I'm a Prince's man. That's just how I grew up.
I made homemade hot chicken once and I got 30 people sick.
Oh no.
It was so spicy.
Oh geez.
That we literally had to take the chicken breasts and wash them in the sink. That's never again.
No, man. You gotta watch with this, like, especially getting older, like watching it.
Oh yeah.
It's a new level of territory I wasn't expecting to have to worry about in life. But
so it took you 3 months to build the food truck.
Mm-hmm.
What was the permitting process like? Because were you guys in Smyrna at that time, or were you guys more in Nashville?
We when we got married, we moved to Nashville. We lived in Antioch, like everybody does, and then moved down the street, just another exit further down, and was renting a house. And then around 2019, we bought our house in Smyrna.
Okay,
and then the pandemic hit, and trying to source out like all the ice cream and stuff. I bought one of those small Cuisinarts, like just makes like a pint of ice cream at a time.
Yep.
I burned that condenser out in like no time. I still have it, but it doesn't work at all. But the permitting process for the truck was more so like you got to get your health department, you got to get your business license, you got to get
Blackwater.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yep.
You have to have a commissary space if you're not working out of a restaurant. So that was like, I think the hardest thing to do.
Even in Rutherford County?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's not a lot of kitchens. There's not a lot of kitchen space in Nashville to begin with.
Yeah. There's 6 commissaries right now?
Yeah. And there's
maybe.
And there was a lot less when we started.
Yeah.
400 food trucks now in the Nashville area.
And I'm like, all we need is one investor that can buy 100,000 square foot warehouse and turn that to a massive, large commissary. They're going to make a lot of money.
Make a lot of money and make it, I mean, if you have it run by somebody who's run food trucks before, they know what to do.
And it'll accommodate them.
Yeah, exactly.
With like the load in, load out trailer. Yeah.
And so like the guy that we went with, his name's Hunter. We were working with him in a commissary over in Brentwood, thanks to a friend of ours that had another food truck. And we were there for a little over a year. And then somebody bought the building and kicked all of us out, turned it into a garage. And then that business failed. So it's now just a vacant building.
Interesting.
And so, but we found our space and that we have our shop in Smyrna now. And we used that as a commissary space for a while. And then we came up with the idea. I was like, all right, winter times are really hard for ice cream. Like we're not busy for almost 4 months. So like pinching pennies, like having to go to family for help, stuff like that. Like it was very humbling. And so we like decided, if we're going to survive, we got to have another outlet. So we decided to open up the ice cream shop. And then that was in 2023, yeah, 2 years ago.
What was the biggest learning experience from going from a food truck to a brick and mortar?
I'd say more so as far as different from the truck. Trucks are the way we run our truck, at least in the beginning. You're just searching for events, like you're searching for things to go sell to.
How did you get placement? Was it farmers markets? Like, did you?
Yeah, word of mouth helped a lot, but I still had a lot of contacts left over from Maggie Moo's, like the companies that I would go cater to. So I would reach out to those people. Like my boss, he had a Gmail calendar, Google calendar that we based all of our events of. That we had a lady that was named Ashley that did all of our booking for us. So she color coded my truck. She color coded the truck in Hendersonville. So we knew who was working which event, what type of event it was and stuff like that. And so I pulled in all that experience. Me and Holly, figured out a way to make it work for us. And we kind of just kept that same model going. But, starting out, we would literally we create our website. We used Google optimization. Mm-hmm. So when everybody would, look for a food truck, ice cream truck, we were the first person that popped up.
And I also think that our branding is what really helped. I mean, we needed something that was recognizable, but still outstanding in the sense that we could fit within any kind of event. Alex has a background in design. And so when we were putting together the concept of our business and our brand, we wanted to make sure that, if we were hired for weddings, how would we look in pictures? If we were hired for corporate events, would we be able to carry the right kind of atmosphere to fit within any kind of event? And so I think that definitely helped in terms of when people are looking out for catering.
Where did the name BlackBox come from?
So the truck, I knew, I grew up metal bands, hardcore bands wearing black all the time. She was in the art world, also wears black all the time. And so it's just been an aesthetic that, we just like black clothing. It's slimming, especially for a bigger guy.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I wear black too.
And we drive a big black box.
Yeah. So when I designed the truck design for the drips on the side of the truck and everything, one of my favorite bands growing up was Every Time I Die. Their color scheme was always black and pink, the whole time. Mm-hmm. And so I've always liked that. My favorite shirt growing up as a small little kid was the 1989 Batman logo.
Yeah.
But it was a hot pink logo.
Yeah. I remember that shirt. Yeah.
And so that was my favorite shirt. So I just put all those things in from my childhood.
Neapolitan ice cream.
Ice cream.
You got the black, white,
and so
brown, white, and pink.
I came with design, asked her, how you feel about this. She liked it a lot. And so we were just like, all right, we got a big black box. And so we just went with BlackBox Ice Cream.
But that's the short story. I mean, we could establish the story a little bit longer that for example, on an airplane, there's the black box.
Yeah. Well, in tractor trailers,
it records
black box.
everywhere you've gone and everywhere you're going. And since we want our ice cream to be an adventure, it's going to take you to new places or it's going to take you back home to what you remember.
And there's also the mystery involved with it because
because you have no idea what the ice cream's going to be today. Yeah,
exactly. So we always come up with something new. Like when we started doing farmers markets, it was always kind of like, what's ube? Nobody's ever heard of this before. The only reason I ever heard of it is because of her and her adopted grandmother, Glennie, introduced me to all kinds of amazing flavors that I haven't traveled the world. Unfortunately, it's one of my big regrets. But I can go to Asian markets. I can buy things. I can brew my own Thai tea and make Thai tea ice cream. I can find that's the thing that a corporate job you can't really do as far as franchises and stuff. You can't branch out. I get our ube from Indonesia. We use 3 different types of vanilla for ours, one from Madagascar, one from Tahiti, one from Mexico. I can source everything that I want for our products.
Yeah, and we'll talk about sourcing here in a few moments. Let's go back to that question of the transition between operating a food truck to brick and mortar.
Oh yeah.
What was what was that transition like?
It was interesting because you don't know, we don't have a huge budget for advertising. We don't have, a firm that can help push our products and push our business model and stuff like that. So just having to go off, all the business we've had for the truck for the first 3 years and then social media essentially to help pull people in. You just don't know what's going to happen. One of my favorite podcasts I used to listen to all the time, they were talking about, this guy that opened a sandwich shop and how you would open up, get the sandwich shop ready every day. Nobody came in for the first week. And you worry about stuff like that because I have to pay for all, utilities, products, all this stuff. I'm getting milk delivered a couple times a week to make ice cream along with having the truck going out still at the same time. So it was a hard time at the beginning because it was just me and her working in the shop. And we also had our little girl to worry about. And so planning everything around her events, our events. And then some days we'd have to close the shop because there's nobody to work. And so it's all right, well, we'll be closed for today because I got to go out in the truck and she's got things to take care of as well. So, and there's things I can't do by myself. There's the job that we do every year at the Cordell Hull building for the Tennessee Hemophilia Foundation. I'm there for 2 hours, but it's 350 people in 2 hours.
That's a lot of ice cream.
It's a lot of ice cream.
That's love free ice cream.
Yeah, of course I do.
And the bourbon butter pecan.
And the bourbon butter pecan.
And so this year, luckily her niece was visiting and she just came along with me and, helped me unload everything from the truck because everything in the truck can be unloaded and taken inside for instant caterings. And so, moving that equipment, it's heavy. It's not easy to do. And so just getting to the point where we felt comfortable, the truck can take care of itself. The store has to figure out a way to stay open all the time for one, and also be able to have somebody to make product and be able to keep the quality to where it is.
So with the store in mind, you guys have diverted it a little bit, and so it's not just ice cream, and now it's baked goods.
Correct.
And recently, you came up with an ube cheesecake.
I did.
And so now you're making cheesecakes, and you're making cobblers, like where they had that blueberry cobbler mixed with the ube ice cream the last time I was there. And then so how has that transition been from just ice creams now to baked goods?
Well, now we have a lot more support. When we first started the shop and we're trying to find that balance between maintaining the truck and opening a location, we kind of had to start bare bones. We just had ice cream. We had, options for a cup or cone, but for the most part, it was very minimal what our product was. And then as we started gaining more popularity, we started getting more regulars. We could afford to bring in more support. That's when we were able to kind of increase what product we had available. And so with that additional support, we're very much a family business. Thankfully, my family will put them to work. So we hired my sister to come in as our shop manager, Shelly. She's great with customers. She's super sweet. She's a hard worker and an incredible baker. And so it was awesome to have her available to help with baked goods as well, create more product that could go really well with our ice cream. Just make a new product to more products to enjoy ice cream with.
A lot of the baked good stuff also came along because when I worked at Maggie Moo's, it was also Great American Cookies. And so they would get those giant, 20-pound box of cookie dough in, they didn't have to make it, but they could bake it. And so I was like, well, I know how to make cookies. I can make some cookie sandwiches and stuff like that. And then it kind of led into, I've always had this cheesecake recipe since 2010 or something like that, that is the base of our traditional cheesecake that we make. And then I took that, tweaked it a little bit, made the signature cheesecake. And then, everybody loves strawberry cheesecake. There's nothing wrong with strawberry cheesecake, blueberry cheesecake. But the ube cheesecake was something that it sounded like something I needed to do. That's something that we need for the store. But, ube is our most popular flavor to begin with. Why not toss it into something else that we already make that's really good as well? And so just the evolution of being able to, take something you already make that's really good, combine it with something else you make is really good, and just have a whole new product that people love is kind of crazy.
What does it mean for both of you, the word hospitality, when you think of that? What do you think of?
Well, I was brainwashed by Disney. Part of my job actually with the Disneyland Resort was training new hires and CEOs of acquired companies about the history and value of the company. So customer service is really important to me. I think it's also very easy to do wrong. So being a business owner now and also understanding how customer service works, I want it to be exemplary. It's very personal now. And so.
Oh, it's your name. It's
exactly.
yours. It's yours.
It's literally my family that we're talking about. So no, I, and also just as a human being in this world, we need a lot more places where people can come, feel safe, feel welcomed, and get good service.
I think for me, the first time I actually know the moment that hospitality actually, the meaning of it changed in my life. I had a roommate in college that worked at Taco Bell for 7 years. That was the only thing he'd ever done, job wise.
Ever eaten. Yeah.
And then
ever eaten.
And we were all in.
That's a lot of bathroom breaks.
Dude, I ate so much Taco Bell in college. It's not even funny.
The bags of liquid
nacho
cheese.
I would get bags of nacho cheese.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Live off of it.
We love you, Ford.
A lot of us were in our friend group, we're all in different bands together over the years and stuff like that. And one of the guys that was one of the guitarists in one of my bands, he worked at Taco Bell as well with Ford. And I was going through the drive-thru with him one day, and he just out of nowhere, asked the person at the drive-thru, "Hey man, how's your day going?" I never really thought about doing that. I was like, no, they're just going to hand me my food. I'm going to go.
But actually mean it too.
Yeah, but he actually meant it. He was generally I know how it feels when people, ask me how my day's going. It actually helps me a lot, or if they can start a conversation sometimes. And so I kind of took that moment and I've applied it to every single restaurant experience I've ever had, every type of food experience. like even the grocery stores, anywhere where like I'm interacting with people face to face, I always try to say like, hey, how's your day going? You having a good day? Because we all need that. Like, I feel like everybody needs, feel welcomed when they come to our shop. Like, I always try to make sure, try to make it personalized somehow. We have regulars that come in with their kids. There's a little girl that comes in and that plays baseball every season. I'm like, you hit a home run, you get free ice cream. Like, just being personable with people and actually caring and being empathetic. There's not a lot of that in the world, unfortunately, right now. And I feel like in our little space, we can make that a common thing, and people enjoy it, and that's why they come back.
Yeah.
What's been your biggest success with the food truck and then with the retail location? It doesn't have to be monetary. It's just like the moment of like a family coming in. Like, what's been your biggest success? Let's do the food truck first.
Food truck. As far as business goes, like being able to work with so many great other people in the culinary arts world, being able to experience.
Yeah, you guys. When I think of you guys, you're one of like the handful of people that takes collaboration to a very not intense level, but like a different level than most operators.
Yeah,
when I think of BlackBox,
I think just being able to get to experience like the people I've been able to meet that I would normally never have met. Like we do and when it gets hot outside, finally, and it's not this weird back and forth stuff. We do the first Sunday market at Porter East, the shops at Porter East, right next to NOCO. And I got to meet, a lot of people don't get to meet their, celebrity chef person that they've looked up to for years. Like I got to meet Sean Brock, his wife loves my ice cream. They both say it's the best ice cream they've ever had. That's a little bit humbling. And also like I have to, push my head back a little bit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get too big. And then working with Junior at NOCO, and all the stuff that they've been able to accomplish over the last couple of years, just, being the Yelp's #1 restaurant in the South, like working with them, having our ice cream on their menu is like, it's an honor. Like not something that, I would ever thought would happen to be associated with somebody at that level. But, accomplishments wise, it's just never ending. Like there's always something new working with, musicians. We work with Dierks Bentley a lot. He's been so kind to us. Like he's a great human being, great musician, but like having somebody just be empathetic and also encouraging you to continue doing what you're doing, is also a really good feeling. Cause being a musician, it's back and forth, like fight with bands or just like nobody came to the show, like stuff like this. But like, this is way better than, getting in front of 20 kids playing a good set and then going home and going to sleep. Like it's something that I can do every single day and get reactions from people every single day based off something that we came up with. And
there's a lot to learn and there's a lot of creativity involved in collaborations. So it gives us the opportunity to learn from other creatives and help us grow as creators and as people.
What's been your biggest failure in operating business?
Not
having enough time or support.
Yeah, that, and also just I'm a terrible business person. I am awful at it. I'm the creative side 100%. Like having to run a business just sounds so draining to me, and it is draining to me. Like constantly worrying about bills, all that side of stuff, making sure I can get my product when I need it. Sometimes, like my recent vanilla shipment got lost. It's like $500 worth of vanilla, So I had to call the company, wait another week and a half to get it. And once they're screaming, like, got this much vanilla left in the bottle, got to make it last, and just be super careful with like, what I put out in this case, what I don't need. And just the small side of things that people don't think about, like not getting what your product in, but also like running out of cups, just like in wintertime when, money's a lot thinner, you got to pay rent, you got to do all those things. So like it's a different level of stress than, just a 9-to-5.
How do you guys manage with 2 young kids and still operating a business?
Family.
We have a lot of help from our family. Her mom lives with us and is a blessing beyond anything we could have ever imagined, taking care of our kids. She is so devoted to being a grandmother and just loves our kids so much that, like we have to go work, we have to go do this. Like she's like, I'll watch the kids. And we also have her sister here now. Who's a big
in the
help.
Summertime, my niece and nephews come out and we put them to work and they love it.
Yeah. What's a dream collaboration that you would love to do?
Ooh, we got a couple dreams.
Yeah.
We really love the idea of doing like an ice cream subscription service.
I think it's brilliant.
And we love the idea of getting our ice cream out there a lot more, having more locations, maybe another truck in the future. We got some dreams. We just have to figure out how to make it happen.
Name a chef. What's a dream collaboration with a chef?
Oh, well, we kind of had an experience with that, but not a collab, just the opportunity. I love Matty Matheson. I don't know if everybody loves Matty Matheson, but we were watching him long before he was on the Bear. And, we had the opportunity. He was doing a book signing here in town a couple months ago. And I brought him some of my ice cream. Don't know if he ate it, but yeah, I gave him the opportunity. I would love to work with Sean Brock. I love Sean Brock. He's an amazing chef.
I think I would.
Have you guys ever done anything with Strategic?
No.
Okay.
I'd love to do something with Manit Chauhan. I love the Chauhan Masala House, and she's just an incredible
She
cook.
supposedly came into our shop, but I wasn't there, so I don't know if it's...
I don't believe it. I gotta see her to believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about sourcing. So you're sourcing vanilla from Madagascar and Mexico, and you're sourcing ube from the Philippines. How in the world do you deal with sourcing worldwide things? It's extremely difficult.
It's tough, but
especially because we don't have international.
Yeah.
Atlanta has good international markets. New York, Dallas, they have good international markets. Here, it's you still have to go down to Atlanta to get some things.
Yeah, I'll probably say that it's the downside to it is that we do have to spend a lot more on shipping costs because of it. But I mean, listen, Alex and I are very white. We're dealing with a lot of international flavors that are representative of specific cultures. We want to be as respectful as possible. So it's incredibly important to us that the products we source come from the country and culture of origin. So if we have to spend a little bit more money to make sure that that product is as true as it needs to be, then we have to do it.
Yeah. And, we have friends that have restaurants of their own. They make their own products and stuff like that. And we buy straight from them. And then they know where to get other stuff if I have questions. So we have really great friends down in Columbia that used to run the Laovenit truck, Laotian food. And
so good.
They make their own jalapeño paste, and I buy it from them.
Yeah.
I used to make the jalapeño ice cream with. The Thai tea, we go to the local Thai Phuket market down the road from us. We buy it straight from them because it comes from Thailand. We try to source everything and make it as true to the name that it can be. And also, I'd like to... It feels good when I can impress, a Laotian family or a Filipino family, and they're like, this tastes just like, we got growing up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's
so
pretty cool.
Walk me through like a recipe creation. So because of your world travels, you're like, I had this as a child. I want to replicate this in ice cream.
That is not how my brain works.
Okay.
I cannot do it. I'm happy to introduce Alex to things that he's never tried before. But the way his brain works is so unlike myself. I'm just going to hand it over to him.
No.
So walk me like I kind of want to come up with a recipe on spot.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to make this into an ice cream together.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
He does.
I do that
all the time.
Like I have an idea in my head and I'm like, okay, this is what I need. These are the ingredients I need. I've been making ice cream so long that I can kind of guess based off the
measurements and everything.
The measurements, but also just the concentration of a flavor.
Okay.
Of how much it needs to be used to make a certain batch. And so like the ube extract is extremely concentrated. And so if you were to taste it, it does taste like pen ink. Like it's so bitter. And so like you have to figure out, the formula, because there's a lot of science into it. You can get on lip measuring and all that stuff and the sugar content and all that crap. But
and then the air quality. I want to talk about that too. Like, how did you guys come up with your air in your ice cream? It's like that's a whole different science conversation.
So we imported our ice cream machine from Italy,
which is the best place to get ice cream.
Yeah, it's actually
in the entire world.
It's actually a gelato machine that we use to make ice cream because gelato has a lower fat content and a lower speed churn speed, so it's super dense. And so I wanted to combine, the feel of gelato with the flavor and the texture of ice cream. And so, ice cream, you have to figure out, the churn speed, how long you do it, like how much mix you're going to use per batch and all that stuff, because different batches will yield different amount of ice cream.
Of course.
The banana pudding will put out 5 gallons, whereas the ube only puts out 4, just because ingredient size is different. But you also just have to figure out, what the consistency level you want to be based off the churn speed. And also ingredients will also alter the flavor and the texture of your ice cream. Like the tang sickle we use, the only ingredient outside of our sweet cream is tang, the powdered drink.
Yeah.
But it gives it a consistency of a push pop, that you grew up eating.
And from the old Swan truck.
Yeah, exactly. Or Flintstone push pops.
Yeah.
And so I wanted that flavor. I wanted that texture. And so by using different ingredients, you can manipulate the texture along with, the amount of churning that you give the ice cream.
This is a bizarre question that just came to mind. Are you guys ever worried about, with everything that you do, getting diabetes?
I am diabetic.
Oh, you're diabetic. I forgot you told me that. That's why it came to mind. I'm like,
I am a type 2
He's diabetic and I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah. Oh, how do you do this?
Ice cream company. It's worth it.
Yeah. It's a sacrifice that needs to be made. I mean, I don't. People always ask, "Do you eat a lot of ice cream?" I don't eat a lot of ice cream.
You just sample it and just make sure it's good. And,
I try to make sure the quality is always the same. It tastes the way it's supposed to taste. But I don't, take home ice cream. And the only person that really eats ice cream is her mom. It's with us and my daughter.
My mom and ice cream.
Yeah.
My daughter, she loves the ube and she loves the pineapple and the mango. So I'll bring stuff home for them, but I rarely eat ice cream at home.
All right, so I want to come up with a recipe on here. How do you want to do this? Do you want me to give you 3 ingredients in mind, or how do you guys want to come up with a recipe?
Yeah, just give me some ingredients. We can do that.
All right. Let's do.
It's like mind chopped.
Yeah, let's do instead of ingredients, I'm gonna say items.
Okay.
Let's do an egg roll.
Egg roll.
Chocolate. And maybe pistachios.
Ooh, my first thought is like a cannoli.
That's what I was thinking.
First, that's almost like a stracciatella ice cream.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And then you can make, you could use the pistachios as the texture, and use the crust from the egg roll as like a flavoring outside of that. And so you'd have the pistachio, or it would be actual pistachios or like pistachio cream, like all those chopped
pistachios.
Chopped pistachios. Yeah. So how I make my key lime pie ice cream is I actually take 2 full-size key lime pies, I fold them in half, I shove them in the ice cream maker.
That's brilliant.
And so there's no need to
recreate the wheel.
I do have other things that I'll add to it and how much, but
is that how you're making your cheesecake too? It's just okay.
But yeah, I think people try to overthink it with ice cream. There's some places that just do bizarre flavors, more so crazy than I am willing to do, because they have a bigger facility. But also I don't want to get things muddled up. I want you to taste the red velvet. I want you to taste a red velvet cake. I want you to taste a key lime pie. I want you to taste, the best vanilla beans you can get. I want you to taste the bean. I don't want you to just it's just vanilla. Vanilla is such a complex flavor.
It is a very complex flavor.
I think the best example of that would be the jalapeno popper ice cream.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up.
So it's a sweet cream cheese base. It's very much, before I get into it, like a deconstructed jalapeno popper. So the base of the ice cream itself is like a sweet cream cheese flavor. And then he candies jalapenos and chops them up very finely. So you still get that silky smooth texture.
Have you ever put bacon into this ice cream?
No, but he does put in Japanese panko, which kind of, resembles the crunchy texture of a jalapeno popper.
Yeah,
still giving you those little salty bites, but still maintaining that silky texture.
Have you done any ice cream with bacon?
No, not yet. But I was talking to her sister.
When Burger King came out with that ice cream years and years and years ago.
I even heard about it.
Oh,
it was a vanilla ice cream with chocolate drizzle and bacon, just large chunks of bacon.
Ooh.
I ate a lot of those.
Yeah.
I eat bacon and ice cream a lot. I literally last week I was home and my wife made bacon in the morning. She put some in the bag and I'm like, I'm going to put this with my ice cream right now. And so it's this salty, it depends on what it is, but it's if chocolate and bacon is this.
Have you ever been
delicious combination?
It's a local chain. Oh, maybe it's Nashville, but Chop House. You ever been there?
The one in Franklin or the one in Hendersonville?
Either. They're the same. There's
Okay.
one in Memphis.
I've been to the one in Franklin. Yeah.
Okay. So they make their deviled eggs, their appetizers.
Uh-huh.
They're huge, but they have candied bacon in the deviled egg with it.
I had a deviled egg over in West Tennessee. Let me tell you about this one. It's in Open County, and it's at Blue Bank Resort off the shores of Reelfoot Lake.
Yeah.
They do a pimento cheese deviled egg with bacon. It is remarkable.
I grew up going to Reelfoot Lake all the time.
Okay.
My grandparents lived
There's so many cool concepts in West Tennessee right now. The Reelfoot Lake Blue Bank Resort there, Blake's Barbecue over in Martin, Tennessee. There's some really cool concepts. But let's go back to the Chop House deviled eggs.
Oh, yes. So, like, they use that candied bacon on, like, these massive, like, mounds of egg, like, yolks. And so, like, how I work, and I was like, I can take that home, I can make that better. And so I started candying my own bacon and like, using it as like just a garnish for other things. But I had the idea the other day of a candied bacon infused ice cream that would probably be dangerous.
We would love to make that announcement. I love bacon, and I love candied bacon, and I love ice creams.
Such a weird experience walking into our shop some days because of what I decide to make and what you smell compared to what you see.
Do you map out your creativity on a map, and you're like, okay, day 30 of this month, I want this particular ice cream?
I wish.
Oh no, it just comes and goes in flurries. It happens when it happens. I don't try to chase it. I'm not always like I'll look at a lot of ice cream content on social media.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I do want to see what other people are doing, but at the same time, I like to go out and eat at restaurants and experience the food. Like I'm very much a savory and sweet like combination in my mouth is what I enjoy the most. Like one of my favorite gross snacks probably to anybody else around Easter time is one of those Cadbury cream eggs.
I love them.
And a bag of puffy Cheetos.
That sounds amazing.
Eating those two together.
Yeah. The cheese. Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Gosh. It's like really the best combo.
Yeah. What's the most bizarre thing each of you have eaten? Because like I like in high school, I did some, it would be bizarre for American standards, but like it was peanut butter, salami, fluff, banana sandwiches.
The crazy thing I've tried, I think
See that.
my grandparents slaughtered pigs growing up. And so I would, around
Some
that
pig
season,
hash.
my grandmother kept jars of pig brains in the fridge. And so I remember her scrambling eggs with pig brains and me taking a bite and saying, nope, never again.
Was it too much texture?
Yes. It was I'm a very weird with textures. Like I don't eat shrimp because I don't like the texture of shrimp or lobster. Like,
I'm allergic to shrimp, so I can't eat shrimp. Yeah.
But like I'm very much like a texture person, but there's also textures that I enjoy that people find, disturbing.
Do you like cow tongue?
I do. I love it. Cow tongue tacos.
Do you like beef cheek?
Yes.
Okay.
I love those things. I love lingua tacos. They're like some of my favorite tacos. But when I was working at an event once, there's King Tut. He used to have a truck.
Yeah.
And he was just making food in his truck for himself for lunch one day, and he brought in over something. It was like curried kidneys.
Okay.
And I had never tasted anything like that before because it didn't have so much of that like irony flavor that you get from those type of organs.
Yep.
That was probably one of the stranger things I've tried, but I really enjoyed it at the same time.
I watched a YouTube video recently. A guy ate a camel head. So in Morocco, camel's a huge meat.
Oh.
And
So fat.
Yeah, they cut the heads off, and then in certain cities in Morocco, they have communal ovens because the residentials don't have ovens. So everyone brings their bread and brings their meats to these community ovens, and so like it's just this camel head going into this oven, and then they have to basically skin it after they bake the head. Oh, cool. And it seems super interesting because like you could like they cook the teeth and everything. It's very bizarre.
That's one I guess my exposure to like the culinary world is like a lot of people. Anthony Bourdain, watching No Reservations, watching.
Were you an Adam Zimmer fan?
Yeah,
with
I was.
Bizarre Foods.
Bizarre Foods.
Yeah.
Like watching him eat stuff and watching him turn away from things like was an experience in its own because he's eaten so many gross things to begin with.
Yeah. Like some weird
not
things.
gross, but like things that we would not used to in the American palate. But, yeah, just stuff like that. I grew up watching Iron Chef, like the original Iron Chef that was all in Japanese. The first celebrity chef show I got addicted to was Emeril Lagasse.
Yeah.
And it's going bam and on everything, And so like that was my exposure outside of my grandmother, cooking meals for armies every week. It's like just that exposure. And I feel like the Food Network has they've fallen off the last 10 years of actually focusing on food.
Yeah, I just had some really interesting conversations with a former producer for Food Network. Yeah.
And so like we have things like when Chef's Table came out on Netflix, it exposed, the fancier side of, high dining and stuff like that, which gives people like an insight into, that creativity and how those minds work. Those chefs are able to create things that you never would think of in so many creative ways, especially with, creating a balloon of sugar, to like,
yeah, and
somebody
evaporate
stuff like that.
I don't know what my weirdest thing would be. So my dad and my stepmom, my parents lived in Japan when I was a very small child. So I would go to
Sean Brock's new Japanese pizza concept is opening soon.
Fantastic. I'm super excited about that because Japanese pizza is a trip. But so I mean, I spent a lot of time in Japan as a little kid, and
like Tokyo or more.
Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, Kyoto, Okinawa, which all very different subcultures within Japan, and so the food was crazy for me as a little kid. I mean, I remember eating a fish while it was still alive and trying sushi as a small kid too and getting exposed to that. I think the weirdest thing for me would probably be, so I spent some time in Thailand. I got to live there for a very brief amount of time, and I learned about the culture of eating spicy food for breakfast. I mean, it is the best way to wake up. It will wake you up so fast. And, all the sinuses draining. You are wide awake for the.
Oh, that's why I always put hot sauce on my eggs. Yeah.
Oh, but we're talking like
super spicy.
Super spicy. I mean, I was actually out there for like a diving trip. And the cute little mama that worked on the boat that would cook for us would make the spiciest, but the most delicious spice I've ever tasted. So I just eat as much as I can, right? To the point where my entire mouth is numb. So when I'm diving for like an hour, I just have to bite down on my regulator because I can't use my lips to keep my mask on.
That's funny.
So
what piece of advice would you give to somebody that's trying to start their own thing?
Be original about it, but also stay true to your own vision. Like, don't let people persuade you to change your concept because they don't think it'll work. Because, if I would have told, somebody, oh yeah, I'm going to start making spicy ice cream. You're like, why? Because it tastes good. Like, it's just something like stay true to your vision. Like, make sure you're able to do what you're wanting to accomplish on your own terms.
Have you ever done a true vanilla bean ice cream with like a Dijon mustard?
No.
It's a wonderful combination.
It sounds good.
Another combination is a true vanilla bean ice cream with a really fine Italian balsamic vinaigrette.
Oh yeah, we do
that. We do that at home.
Yeah,
balsamic.
We get olive oil.
Yeah,
our olive oil ice cream. It has such a strong olive oil flavor. You just take it home and put some nice thick balsamic glaze. It tastes so good.
But going back to your question about if we were to give advice to someone about starting their own business, I'd also really stress you need to come up with your priorities and stick to them. For Alex, his biggest priority was flavor and texture above all. And for me, the priority was to create a safe space and to create an experience. I think once you can find what your priorities need to be, you need to hold on to them because it's so easy with all kinds of success or, your excitement of creating new products to get lost. And that's when your business fails.
Just don't do too much. I feel like people try to do too much, especially with food trucks. Food trucks, you only have so much space to work in to begin with. I've never worked on a hot food truck, but I have lots of friends that do. And they're the ones that are most successful are the ones that keep it simple and make sure that what they're doing is the perfect version of that.
And maintaining that quality.
Yeah. Because once you start adding in like 5 different dishes or, you have a menu that's way too big for people to decide. One, you're wasting their time, you're wasting your time, and you're going to have to worry about, keeping so many
items. Yeah.
And so make it easy.
And I think that's a major problem for brick and mortar restaurants.
Yeah.
Make it easy on yourself. Like why make things more difficult when you don't have to?
Why start, like when we opened our shop, we had very little product, to choose from, but we found what works and we were able to adapt.
like cobblers aren't hard to make. You just got to make them taste good.
Yeah, it's time consuming on some of the process, but
it's very simple process. Like you have your fruit, your batter, and you stick it in the oven. That's about it. Like you don't really. It's not that difficult. Like if I wanted to start making like tiered, layered cakes and all these other things, like that would be way more work than I'm willing to put into it.
And so we don't want that work to make our other products suffer in quality.
And so like, people always ask, are you going to do ice cream cakes? Like probably not, because that's not really what I do. Like we could do that, but
I think of that Oreo crust.
Yeah. Well, that's
on your cheesecake. Yeah. On your cheesecake.
Like I can figure out cheesecakes, pretty easily because, I've already got the base.
Yep.
And then, you just, it's just like writing a song. You start with, one part, you add some other parts, and eventually you have a whole song put together. 3 minutes of somebody, could experience, the best song they've ever heard. It's the same with cheesecakes or ice cream. You just start with your base, add a little bit to it, and then, perfect that. And then leave it alone. Like don't add anything else to it, because I feel like a lot of businesses will try to do too much. And they just bog themselves down with less time to be able to focus on everything else and focus on themselves too. Cause like self-care is a huge deal. Like this year, I've had a lot of issues with, depression and other things going on. Like adding another child to the family, that's like takes away a lot of time from, I'm a very selfish person with my time. I like my time. And so like figuring that out, having a healthy work balance with family balance, personal time, it's hard. Like it's not easy. And like struggling with that, it affects her, it affects our kids. And so like making sure you can be able to give attention to everyone in your business and your customer base, because they're what keep us going. They're the most important part.
You have to protect yourself from burnout for sure.
And so I got burned out this year pretty bad and just took a detour from my normal personality, and I didn't like it. So like you just have to reset and just, take a step back. If you need to take a step back, lean on your loved ones, lean on your family, like just focus on the important parts. Cause I feel like that can get lost in a business really fast.
Mm-hmm. Let's name 3 restaurant or 3 food truck operators that our audience should go experience in town.
Bad Luck Burgers, hands down.
Best burgers in Nashville for sure. I just found this truck on Saturday and I checked their Instagram. They only had 64 followers. It's the Wee Chippy truck. They make fish and chips, and it's run by this great couple. The guy grew up in Wales. He just
Joe, write this down, please.
Super sweet people, and they make the best fish and chips I have ever had, hands down.
Really?
We take our fish and chips very seriously.
Very serious. Her mom's British and everything.
The best fish and chips I've ever had is in Hoth, Ireland. It's a little town away from Dublin. It's on the coast. Fresh caught fish, fresh made batter. Have you guys been to Boston Commons?
I have, yeah.
I have.
What's your thoughts on that fish and chips?
They'll do.
Okay.
But there's no beating fresh fish and beer batter.
Well, the thing about this truck, they've only been around for 2 years. They don't do a lot of events because his wife has a day job.
Okay.
He can't really do it by himself that well.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And so, but he was telling me that they get Icelandic cod, like fresh cod, Icelandic cod that's frozen, of course, shipped over. But it's not farm fresh. It's not farm fish. It's like
true ocean. Wow.
Icelandic cod. And it makes such a huge difference because you taste other people's, I don't like catfish. It's never been my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's their bottom.
It's a very acquired flavor.
My parents ate it all the time growing up, but this guy and his wife are making some of the best fish and chips I've ever had.
Okay. Say the name of it one more time.
The Wee Chippy truck.
The Wee Chippy truck. All right. Third one.
And then I would have to say for the third one, oh man, I've worked with so many food trucks and eaten off so many food trucks. I'd probably say Yayo Tacos. He's out of Murfreesboro.
Do they have a red branding on their truck?
No, it's black and green.
Black and green, okay.
His tacos, his carne asada tacos.
Flour, corn, tortilla. Okay.
Corn tortillas. Their food is super incredible. And
that family that owns the barbecue truck.
Oh, Roscoe's. Roscoe's. If you're looking for barbecue, Roscoe's.
Have you guys been to Meatville in Antioch?
I mean, not yet. We have one.
You need to go.
Really want to go.
His It is probably one of the best restaurants in Nashville. I have after we featured them, I've been back 3 times.
Oh,
that does not happen.
Yeah,
with my schedule. So
it's funny because our little space. Where our shop is in Smyrna, and the Food Line Shopping Center off Old Nashville Highway, and it's the older side of town. Like there's not a lot over there, but what we do have over there are always like. They're the best versions of what they're doing. Like we have ice cream, which personal favorite. I love our ice cream.
You guys are hands down one of the best in the state.
And then there's a barbecue place that's right next to us, and he's like pretty much perfected his brisket.
Better Days Barbecue.
Better Days Barbecue.
Another family-owned business.
Texas style, Memphis style. What are we talking?
It's like a mix of the two, actually.
Okay.
And then
how's the bark on the brisket?
It's really good.
Is it a little bit thicker?
A little bit. I mean, it's not super thick, but it's got enough flavor there to like. We'll go over there and just ask them for slices of brisket.
Of course, yeah.
And the best Chinese I've ever had outside of Manhattan, Song Da.
Really?
Oh my gosh!
Is it a takeout place or is it a sit down?
Takeout, family owned.
She has 2 sons that are in college now. They come in and help on the weekends. I haven't bought Chinese food in probably 4 years because we just trade back and forth.
Yeah, that's a great trade.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Chinese,
her boys will be over there just, putting together.
Hand rolling the egg rolls.
Putting together the crab rangoons, like everything's just handmade, fresh. But like the best.
How's their duck?
I've never tried their duck. I'm against eating ducks. They're one of my favorite animals.
Oh.
I can't force myself to eat a duck.
I love duck.
If I was to be reincarnated, I want to be a duck.
Yeah.
I think ducks are too cute to eat, but if everybody else wants to, they can. I won't judge anybody.
Have you had their duck?
I have.
Do they serve duck?
They do serve duck.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's big during the holidays.
I wish I had thought about this beforehand, but they have a noodle dish. It's like super thin noodles that has like pork, beef, chicken, and shrimp mixed in with it, and this really good sauce. And they just do such a good job. Like I've never had.
Well, I'm sold.
Good.
I need to get down to Smyrna. I had one final question. What is your like perfect itinerary for Nashville?
Oh man, it's been so strange seeing Nashville change over the years from when I grew up, coming here as a teenager, playing shows at venues that don't exist anymore. Like there was nothing. Like you could go to Predators games for like $5 and there'd still be nobody there hardly. Yeah. And now you're paying, $500 to go see a Preds game, which is ridiculous to me. I'm glad that it picked up and people are enjoying it. But like the amount of stuff that has just gone away for Nashville, like all the small mom and pop, tourist spots downtown, little kitschy, country music stuff that was there. Now it's all just been replaced by capitalist bars that are all the same, super loud, watered down drinks, everything. And just problematic for tourists that want to come in here. And you have all the beer wagons that are going around, the giant buses, the woo girls, all that stuff. Like it's changed so much that we really don't go downtown anymore. Like it's just not worth it. We've found local spots that we like on our side of town. There are some places where like we really want to go to, and we'll go to there. But
have you done a collaboration with Viva La Fresca?
No.
The bakery that's near the depot.
Yeah, I haven't been in since because it used to be owned by a different family. Yeah, and then the owner passed,
and then they rebranded it because it was a donut shop.
Yeah,
their conchas with your ube ice cream would be.
They do work with the other ice cream shop in town quite a bit.
Okay,
Gennardi's.
Yeah,
they do some collabs every now and then, but we need to go in there and try that out because I love a good concha.
I will say what I love about Nashville, in the sense that I loved about Portland, is that we have a lot of really great small businesses.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
A lot of great small businesses, a lot of great restaurants. I never really, especially coming from the West Coast primarily, I never really thought of Nashville as being a foodie haven, but it totally is.
There's been so many restaurant concepts that have come and gone in this town that, I yearn for some of the food that I can't get anymore. There was a place called, was it Louis or something like that? House Louis. It was over off McGavick Pike and had the best poutine breakfast bowl that I've ever had in my life.
So like steak eggs with steak fries with eggs, like maybe like
it was
sausage.
hash browns with cheese curds and a fried egg on top and like some gravy. It was
That sounds great.
Oh man, it was amazing. And so like just been so many places and so many great opportunities for people in this town that I feel there's so much to like what you're doing, highlighting all these great smaller businesses and getting people, to come. We've had people come from all the way to Alabama just to try our ice cream because
they saw it from us.
They saw it from you guys.
That's awesome.
And so I feel like stuff like that, like us working
strictly
together,
for the ube, or did they come for like other flavors?
I wasn't there. I was on the truck.
Oh, okay.
We have stories like that, and I feel like there's so much more exposure. There's great spots that are all over town, like Daddy's Dogs. I love a good Daddy's Dog. I love, Bad Luck Burgers, of course, makes a great burger. There's so many new experiences that people are just trying to, do, like local bakeries. They're trying to do.
What's the, I think it's a Mexican dish. It's a fried bread with ice cream inside of it.
Oh, it's just fried ice cream, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe a fried ice cream, but I'm thinking something else.
So there's a couple different ways.
Yeah.
You can get it. Like we went to our friend's birthday at Hibachi Grill, and they had fried ice cream, but it had like a dough around it.
Okay.
Or I've seen it done where they do like cereal, cornflakes
around it. Okay. No, it's a very particular bread. I'm thinking I'll have to think of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll send it to you because I think like that is it's like a puff pastry.
Oh, okay.
With ice cream inside. I've only, let's see, where have I seen?
The only thing I've seen like that's like a Bake Alaska.
Or in France, they do like brioche buns with ice cream.
That's maybe where I'm thinking of it. I've seen it in Italy a couple times.
They also use like a Hawaiian sweet bread.
Yeah,
and
I've seen that before.
The most two popular flavor combinations are ube and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That's the two flavors.
What type of cheese?
I don't know.
It's just like a sweet cheese.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of cheese they use.
Because like ube with a brie.
Yeah, that
would be really nice.
I love good brie. We don't have a lot of space to work with stuff. So like me getting the oven in there was like a huge deal. Me getting our giant industrial like 10-quart mixer like for blending everything, and like our freezer. I need another freezer. I just don't have space for it.
Yeah.
We're so limited on what we can expand and get out of the shop. But I mean, hopefully one day. We've had multiple people ask us about opening up other locations, but we're just not ready. Like we're not
ready to let go.
We're not ready to let go.
Yeah.
Having the control of everything, keeping the quality.
And you have to.
That's most important to me. Like, and some people would be like, oh yeah, expand, go make money. But like, I'd love to make money. But like the thing is like, I won't want my product to suffer.
Yeah.
And then staffing's always an issue for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many people, even food trucks have a hard time, finding people to work on a food truck because it's not easy work. Like it's long, hard days on your feet all day, hot, especially if you're cooking pizzas or whatever. Like there's so many crazy things that can happen. So, I mean, losing quality, I think, is the most thing I would be scared about.
How did our video impact your business?
Incredibly. Like
it introduced us to a lot of people who hadn't heard about us before.
We left to go out to visit her dad and her stepmom who live in Virginia Beach on Valentine's Day. You guys released that video. That next week, we were just slammed, even though it was like super cold outside.
Our profits increased that week by 300%.
300%.
Yeah. Insane.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that number.
Yeah.
I try asking that number all the time, and operators are like, I'm not going to tell you what your increase was, but 300% is amazing.
It was,
Yeah. On the weekends, especially, like incredible height of, people coming in for the first time, people returning after the first time.
We're completely out of quarts.
Yeah.
Take home quarts. People just cleared us out. We're having a hard time keeping our pans full in the dip cabinet.
Yeah, we were running out of ice cream fast. And so like we had to up our orders for our milk every week. I had to increase the amount of, packaging that I'd use for the quarts and stuff like that by double.
Wow.
And so,
well, thank you for sharing that, guys.
Yeah.
Like that brings me so much joy that I've been able to help small businesses like yours.
Yeah. It's been an amazing experience to like one, be on, this side of it and see how it has affected our lives, but also see how many people get to experience something new for the first time.
Yeah.
Is always fun for me. I think that's one of the biggest joys I get out of, our business is sharing something that means a lot to me with, everyone that comes in. like my grandmother's recipe for her cupcakes, I turned into an ice cream. Like I get to share that. And so being able to, she came up with the carrot cake ice cream, and then people love it. You know, they keep asking for it.
Have you, okay, so the carrot cake ice cream, my father-in-law, his favorite thing is carrot cake.
Oh.
But he can't eat ice cream. Have you guys done like a coconut version of the carrot cake ice cream?
We do a coconut.
Yeah, you have
like,
coconut.
Yeah.
Coconut base.
But like taking the coconut like base for the ice cream and doing that as a carrot cake, because I think that may be a really interesting combination.
I might try it. Yeah, that sounds really good. I mean,
for the record, this man did not want to do carrot cake over here, and I was like, "No, we're doing it."
Did it have with the ice cream? Did it have like chop up carrots in the ice cream? Okay,
it does have. Yeah, in the carrot cake batter, it actually does have carrot in it. It has like a very like. The dried carrot has like a dried coconut consistency to it.
Interesting.
Almost. Yeah.
Does it make the carrot sweeter?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
So did you dry age the carrots yourself?
No.
Okay.
We take an easy route with that one.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things that we use like are like the new, what's the one that Shelly did? The pistachio and Oreo. Like my favorite cookie ever was the Oreo thins. They made a pistachio.
Oh yeah, those things were fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So like being able to turn that into like an ice cream.
That's awesome.
Was like one of my favorite things ever. Cause like, that's what I love to do. Like there's a restaurant over in Franklin called Jasmine. Had the best massaman.
Jasmine was incredible.
Massaman curry I've ever had in my life. And I was talking to her. I was like, I want to make that an ice cream. And
did you make it? Yeah. How was it?
I did. It was great. It was weird.
It should not work, but it absolutely does.
I haven't made that curry paste in a long time, and have people ask.
Have you been to Sindor or Joshin? They're my favorite like Indian restaurants in town. I'm trying to do like some really unique collaborations with them in like Tuta de Joe and like these like interesting like Italian places, but that may be a really interesting collaboration.
One of the places it's like a comfort Indian food place to me is Bombay House on West End.
Okay.
Because I worked across the street, so I literally just run across the street back and forth. They would come in and get ice cream cakes from me. So I was like, if I want Indian food, like that's what I'm craving is like, that style of Indian food. I do like Chowham Masala House. We take our dad there every time we go. But I've asked the actual Indian families that come in the shop. I'm like, where do you go get food? Like, you want authentic Indian food? They've given me a handful of places, but I still haven't tried them yet. Just don't have time.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming into the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This has been a very enjoyable time. Where can people give you guys a follow and book for catering?
You can find us on Instagram at the BlackBox Ice Cream Truck, and you can reach out to us for catering at blackboxicecreamtruck@gmail.com.
That's about all our social medias. We don't really fool around with Facebook, Twitter, or TikTok. Instagram's kind of been like our only space where we focused on. I feel like we're doing a really good job. We've got almost 5,000 followers just based off our own, not, reaching out to other people. Like your video boosted us a ton, got us probably at least 700 new followers in the last couple weeks. So it's helped us out a lot, but I think just focusing on one platform makes it easier for me.
Well, you guys are too busy.
It's one thing people don't tell you is like, you got to run social media for your business. That takes a lot of time.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job for sure.
Yeah. And like, I'm in between making ice cream. I'm posting pictures of the menu. I'm putting up new cheesecakes, all this stuff. I have to take pictures of it all myself. It's not easy work, but it's fun to see other people get engaged with it.
Well, guys, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.